So, fraction is 1/5. Now, I'm going to let you in a little secret. I know none of you would ever do this. This is optional, it's on a sticky note, don't write this down. I'm going to make a mistake. You would never do this. What is the decimal of 1/5? Oh, Miss O'Malley, it's 1.5. Well, why is it 1.5? How? Well, because there's a 1 and a 5, so isn't it just 1.5? Oh, no, I was just kidding, Miss O'Malley. It's 0.15. Well, why? Well, because there's a 1 and a 5, and don't we just stick a decimal in front of there? None of you would ever do that mistake, right?
Probably.
I do have students who do that, and I'm like, no, sorry, math is not that easy. There is work to do. So please remember, like 99% of the times, your fractions to decimals, they don't even have the same numbers. Like you'll end up, your answer having, it won't have a 1 and it won't have a 5. 99% of the time, these numbers are not even in your answer, okay? So don't do this. All right, so we got to divide. Yes, some of you hate it, but we all have to do it. So we have to divide. What number goes inside? The 1. The top number goes inside. The bottom number goes outside. It doesn't matter which one's bigger or smaller. The top number goes inside. All right, does 5 go into 1? Absolutely not. That's why it's called a decimal. 0.0. All right, how many times 5 go into 10? 2. 2 times 5, 10, and you're done. This is my decimal, 0.2. Notice, it doesn't have a 1 and it doesn't have a 5, right? My answer is 0.2. There's no 1, there's no 5. There's no 1, there's no 5. All right, what's my percent? We did this yesterday. 20%. 20%, yes. Exactly, you move it 2 times, right? Move it 2 times. 0.2, 1, 2, add a 0, you got 20%. Okay? Okay? So today we'll focus on fraction to decimal. Fraction to decimal. It's the hardest one. All right, let's do 3 out of 8. Okay. What number goes inside the division box? 3. What goes outside? 8. We're not going to get better at division if we're not trying to divide. So if you're like, oh, I'm just going to wait for her and not try it by myself, you're not going to improve your skills. You have to like start doing these on your own. At least do this. Like, oh, okay, I can do that. All right, 8 goes into 30 how many times? 3. That 3 goes on top of the 0, right? And then 3 times 8? 24. We have a remainder of 6. Do I ever want to see remainders on your homework? No. Never, ever, ever, ever do I want to see a remainder on your homework. Eight goes into 60? 7. 7 times 8? Remainder? 4. Do we stop there? No. Ooh, this is our first one, maybe with 3 numbers. Add another 0 and bring it down. We can add zeros until the sun sets if we wanted to. I could. I should. No. All right, how many times does 8 go into 40? 5. Okay, now that gives me 40, and now I have a remainder of 0, so life is good. Yes? Okay, so that's my decimal, 0.375. If you want to add the 0 in the front, you can. I sometimes don't, so just have to remind myself. Okay, so yes, this is called long division. We get a lot, but we do. It does end. It does end, so we're happy. All right, so now that's my decimal. What would be my percent? Yes. My percent would be 37.5%. You only move it twice. But Miss O'Malley, there's 3 numbers. That's cool. You move it twice. Only twice, and that's it. We okay? So far, so good? All right. Questions? No? Double check my notes here for a second. How do what can I do to punish these students? I mean, what? All right. Let's do, what would be a good one? Let's talk about 1/3. Does anybody know the decimal of 1/3 without doing the math? No? Okay, let's do the math. So what number goes inside? 1, 3 goes outside. Zero decimal zero. Like those are automatic. 0.0. And don't put the decimal until you add a 0. Like on your homework, some of you on the front page, the last basic problem, you guys like wrote 1.025 or something like that when it's supposed to be like 10. So 3 times 3 is 9. 1, add the 0. 3, 9, 1, 0, 3, 9. See, if I ever give you detention, I'll have you divide 1/3 for like the whole detention time. Can you imagine? No, I wouldn't. Actually, you know what your detention would be? To divide 1/7.
That makes me want to do it now.
Yeah. 1730 428 20 21460 656 40 no wait, this is 8. 56, then 65, and then 35, and yeah. Does it seem like it's gonna stop?
Yep.
No!
I want to do it.
So this would be like your detention problem. You can leave once you end up with no remainder on this problem.
Oh,
The evilness, I would love it. And I would give you like a poster paper. Because, you know, it would just take you like the whole...
I kind of want to do it on my own time.
I mean, this is just, it will just keep going. Forever.
It sounds fun.
My kind of math student right there. All right. So what's going to keep happening?
It's just gonna keep on going.
Keep on going forever and ever and ever. Hence the torture. Okay? So this is what we do. The decimal is 0.33 with the bar on top. So I'm kind of teaching you something I wasn't supposed to teach you, but you know, we're here, we're in the live. This is called a repeating decimal. A repeating decimal repeats. And it doesn't stop. It always just keeps repeating. This line on the top means that. So whenever you see a decimal with a line on top, that means it's a repeating decimal and it will continue forever. Forever. It's pretty cool. 1/3, we do end up like rounding it to just 33%. So this would be 33%. Sometimes if they're really, they'll do like 33.3%, you know, something crazy like that. But yeah, so it's called a repeating decimal, and this is called bar notation when they have the bar on top. So that's something extra. It's not going to be on your homework. It might be on your map test. All right, are we okay?
Yeah.
So far, so good? All right, that was just a little extra. Let's do one that's semi-nice. Not really. I mean, maybe. What if I give you the fraction 7/20? What would be the decimal? What would be the percent? 7/20. What goes inside the division box? All right, what goes outside? All right. Set it up. You know 20 doesn't go into 7, so you automatically add a 0, decimal, and another 0. Then count by 20s. Twenty goes into 70, 20, 40, 60, 80. Oh, too much, so 3. 320 gives you 60, remainder 10. Then you add a 0, and instead of 10, I have 100. And 20 goes into 100 5 times. 5 times 20, 100. We zero out. Yay! So my decimal is 0.35, which is what percent? 35%. Now, you know how I taught you yesterday, like, how do you get a fraction from a decimal? And I said, look at the last number, right? But, I mean, have these ever been out of 10 or 100? No, because these are simplified. So, like, if I have the 5 ends in 100, right? So it would be 100 out of 35. But, hey, that doesn't match this. But if I simplify by dividing by 5, I would get 7/20. So yesterday I taught you the shortcut of like, hey, put it under 10 or 100. None of the problems I gave you today, the fractions don't look like that. They did at one point, but they have all been simplified. So we are going off what we did yesterday. It's just simplified. All right, what else can I give you? Gosh, should I be super mean and evil?
No.
Yes, I should. I mean, look at this. 14/25. Mean and evilness is my middle names. Mean and evilness. Okay, but when you realize that you're really dividing by 25. Oh, Jesus, let me not trouble you. Let's just leave your pencil on your notebook. Let's not worry about copying this problem. This one? What's your answer? What's your answer?
Oh, no, I haven't done it. I already did the problem.
Just because I stopped doesn't mean you get to stop. At this point, you should be able to, like, work. Long division is your best friend. Sometimes you like her, sometimes you don't. Okay, so 25 doesn't go into 1. 25 doesn't go into 14. I write those zeros. I know some of you don't need them, but I write them so you see it doesn't work. Decimal 0. Okay, it looks hard, but do you know how to count by 25 cents?
Yes.
So you should be able to do this.
Okay, I'm finished.
Good.
0.56.
Check it out. $25 into 140. 4 quarters make $1. $1.25. $1.50. Oh, that's too much. So take away 1. That's 5. That gives me 125. I counted by quarters. Literally counted by quarters. Then I borrow, and I get 5 and a 1, and I add a 0 and bring it down. 150. How many quarters in $1.50? 6. So yeah, the numbers were bigger here, but I didn't feel terrible about it because it's 25 cents. So my decimal is 0.56, so what would be my percent? 56%. Any questions? Alright. Are we okay? So, yes, it's long division, but the numbers aren't terrible. Let's see. Fraction to percent. Oh, fraction to decimal. We did fraction to decimal. Oh no, it shows this. Where are your notes? Did I give you too many? You just need 3. Avery too. Thank you. All right. Go to the side that says fraction into decimal. Fraction into decimal. They look alike, so the last word has to be decimal. Last word has to be decimal. We're good? All right. I might need some more space for my work. Okay, first one, 27 over 2. Huh?
Huh?
27 over 2?
What?
Exactly. 27 over 2. You know what? It's just, there's no space there. I'm going to do it over here. 27 over 2 is 27 inside, 2 is outside. What is my decimal? My whole point. I don't know. I don't know. All right, solve it. So I want your answers here, but I want the work. Can you fit the work here? It's going to be tough to show your work here, in my opinion. Yes. Yeah, 13.5. Number 2 is in your notes from yesterday. Number 2 is in your notes from yesterday. It was the very first problem I gave you. Right? I think so, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's the answer for number 2? If you look at your notes, the very first problem I gave you yesterday for your notes. Okay. So I don't need 18 over 5. Gonna put 18 inside, 5 outside. Yes, today is the day where you do a lot of long division. I almost forgot my decimal.